Hello everyone, I'm Jeff Standley with Standley Handcrafted, and today I wanted to talk about an issue that comes up every once in a while, and it's definitely an issue that's affecting me as a candle maker, and especially those of you who have followed my instructions in some of the videos and purchased some of the products that I use, and that is the HTP wicks. Now, if you've seen any of my videos and you follow a lot of the instructions and buy some of the equipment that I use, you no doubt have some HTP wicks. And within the last month or two, it seems that HTP wicks is going to be changing a lot of their wicks and basically how they're made. Now, jumping across some of the candle sites like Candle Science, and you have no doubt run into supply issues, not only with the HTP wicks, but with everything going on right now. Jars are in real short supply, wicks are in short supply, fragrance oils are in short supply, but the HTP wicks, if you've gone out to any of the websites and tried to order wicks recently, the HTP specifically, you'll notice that they are out of stock, or some websites list them as discontinued. Now, Candle Science is usually where I get a lot of my stuff. They have them listed as discontinued. It doesn't really say when the new set is coming in, but I went to the Flaming Candle to order some, and they had this statement. And on the website it says, "Please note, due to raw material shortage, Atkins Pierce, which is the manufacturer of HTP wicks, had to begin sourcing their yarn from a different supplier. Our current HTP wicks are sold out. We will begin carrying HTP wicks made with the new yarn, and we will carry them going forward. While the HTP wick numbers remain the same, like the HTP 104, 93, 83, the burn characteristics may be different between the old and new versions. Testing will be required to ensure proper burning performance when using the new HTP wicks." And that's what I wanted to talk about right now. Is that's going to be very important, especially for me and anybody else that uses HTP wicks, is you definitely don't want to get this new set and just throw them in your candle, grab the HTP 93 or the 83 that typically fits in the jelly jar, and just go ahead and make 40, 50, or 100 candles, and then just put them on your shelves and start selling them again. When this new batch comes out, you definitely want to take these, you want to test them, you want to make your normal candles, whatever jar that you're using, whatever oil percentages that you're using, and test these new wicks. Just because the way they're making them is going to change, and the way that they burn in your candles could actually change a little bit. Now, how that changes, it's going to be up to a lot of testing. It could mean that they burn a little bit hotter, a little bit cooler. Your melt pool might be a little bit off. How much they actually curl or bend when they're lit and burning for about 3-4 hours. You definitely want to pay attention to this. Now, of course, with the channel, I'm going to get a bunch of these wicks in. I'm going to go through and I'm going to do a lot of testing on this. I'm going to make a few videos on these just so that we can see exactly how well they burn, or if they burn different. So definitely stay tuned, hit subscribe, hit the bell notification so you know when those videos come out. And I'm absolutely going to do extensive testing on these because I use HTP almost exclusively, not only for testing in the videos, but in all the candles that I sell. So I'm definitely curious to see how these shape up, how they're going to be different. But I definitely wanted to let people know that this is something that you should look out for. And this is definitely not anything new. If you've been to any of the candle websites and ordered materials, you'll notice that every once in a while, certain products, oils, waxes, or anything like that are discontinued. That's usually because they're just not big sellers, or like the HTP wicks, they just changed their formula or changed it the way they're made. So it's definitely a good idea to test a lot of different things, different oils from different companies, different wicks in different waxes. That way, if something does happen, say that the HTP wicks just went away completely and you hadn't tested with any other wick, now you're left to go back through and retest everything from ecos to CDs to CDNs to RRDs. It's another big task to take on, and it can definitely get expensive. So that's why it's a good idea when you're doing your testing, test a few different wicks. If the HTPs were to go away, I know that the CD wicks would be a good wick for the wax that I use, which is the 6006. Now, wicks are definitely one of the easier ones to kind of move or kind of sidestep or position yourself to kind of move on if they do make a change like that. Now, if you're using a particular wax and they all of a sudden stop making that wax, which is what happened earlier this year with some of the waxes, they just stopped making it. So a lot of people that kind of base their brands and their company off of a particular wax like that, you can really get yourself into trouble with something like that, and you have to pivot real quick. So if somebody dropped their wax line completely or discontinued a vessel, which has definitely happened, certain vessels come in, people buy a ton of them, they make their brand specifically targeted or centered around that particular vessel, and once it disappears, they have to rethink everything. So it's definitely a good idea to try a few different things. Don't be stuck on like one wax, one vessel, one wick wick, it's a very good idea to know what else works or what else you can kind of fall back on. Now, this is definitely something that's a little bit rare. It's not always going to happen. 464, something like that, isn't just going to all of a sudden go away. But that's not to say that it couldn't happen. But it's always a good idea to have a backup plan, have a backup vessel, wick, wax, oils, anything like that, so that if something does happen, you can quickly transition. So that's pretty much it. A very quick video. I just wanted to let people know about the HTP WICKS situation in case there are people out there that didn't know about it. I've seen it on the websites for a little over a month or two now. It's been happening for a little bit. Luckily, I have a pretty good stock of the HTP WICKS, so I'll be good for a little bit. But I will definitely be testing the new wicks when they do come out, so definitely stay tuned for the videos on that. And of course, if you know anything about the HTP WICKS and the whole situation, please let me know in the comments down below. Try to go through and bring those in, update those, and answer those, and bring them into the next video when we cover the new wicks. And of course, you can follow me on any of the social media platforms that I've listed down below: Facebook, Instagram, my website, the phone number, which is 253-303-7968 if you want to text your questions to me. And definitely don't forget to check out the ebooks that I have on my website. They are step-by-step guides on how to make candles with 464, 6006, joy wax, cocoa apricot, and coconut soy. A bunch of different waxes with a lot of good tips and tricks in there for people that don't really like to watch the videos but would rather have kind of a PDF that they can print out and follow through. And of course, if you haven't already, please hit the like button. It helps with the YouTube algorithm, and subscribe to the channel, and thank you for watching.